Okay, let's factor some trinomials here today. And let's see here. So this is a quadratic trinomial. So it's quadratic because it's degree 2, trinomial because there's 3 terms. And to be able to do this, this is one of the keys. You look to see what the a value is, the number in front of the x squared. If it's not there, if it's just 1, these really aren't that hard to factor. It's a game. Okay, if it's something other than 1, it definitely makes it a little bit more challenging. So as I look at this, is just 1. So the way this game's played, you look at the last term. It's got to multiply to make negative 18. Then I look at the term before that. It's got to add to make negative 7. So what I do is I think of all my numbers that multiply to make negative 18. Let's see here, negative 18 and 1, negative 9 and 2, negative 6 and 3, negative 2 and 9, negative 1 and 18, and negative 3 and 6. Okay, now, as I look at this, because this has got to be negative 7, I know none of these over here work. Because when I add these, they're all going to be plus. They're all positive, so I know that's not going to work. Okay, now also notice, for every one of these, there's always 2 different signs. Well, that's because I'm multiplying and making a negative number. If I was multiplying and make a positive number, they'd both be the same. But because they're negative, they're going to be different. Well, this isn't it, this isn't it, this has got to be the winner. So how I write my answer? X minus 9, x plus 2. That's it. Okay, so I'm figuring out what multiplies to make this and adds to make that. So next round. So it's got to multiply to make negative 14 and add to give me negative 5. Okay, negative number. So it's got to be a negative times a positive. And the good thing about 14, there's only 2 choices. You got to like that. Prime would be even better, but one that has 2 choices is pretty darn close. It's got to be this one. So it's p minus 7, p plus 2. All right, now this one's a little different. Okay, we got to get a positive 8. So it multiplies to make positive 8 and adds to make negative 9. To make a positive, those numbers must be the same. So I got 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Okay, but those are all positive. Now, the other choice that I have is negative 1, negative 8, negative 2, negative 4. That's my winner. Multiply those 2, I get positive 8. Add them up, I get negative 9. So it's m minus 1 and m minus 8. Okay, this one. Okay, now I'm starting to get the hang of this. It multiplies to make 63 and adds to make negative 16. Okay, both signs got to be the same. It's got to add to make a negative. Well, this one's easy for me, and this is something else that you got to think about. Some person wrote these. Most times, it's going to be an easy combination. It's going to be the one that you first think of. When I see 63, I think 7 and 9. It's got to be negative. That's my first choice. Okay, I don't even think everything else besides that I'd have to work at to get. That's the only one that I know, and I happen to get it right. So it's x minus 7, x minus 9, because those add up to make negative 16. Now, 36 is a little tougher than 63. 36, this is multiplies to make negative 36 and adds to make negative 5. All right, so I got, well, when I see negative 36, I think negative 6 times positive 6, sorry. Well, that's 0, that's not it. Ooh, how about negative 4 and negative 9 and 4? That's negative 5. See, the other choices would have been negative 12 and 3, negative 18 and 2, and negative 36 and 1. Well, these are all harder ones, not ones that I think of first. These are my first 2. Those are, when I remember back to my spelling, my math tests, when I was in 3rd grade learning the math facts, those were facts that I had to learn. I didn't have to learn these. I had to learn these. So those are my numbers. So it's C minus 9 and C plus 4. Now, somebody asked the question, doesn't matter the order. Doesn't matter the order at all. You could have C plus 4 and C minus 9. Doesn't matter. The numbers are what matters. They have to be the same. But as far as the order, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, one last one here. 12 is another good choice of numbers because there's lots of choices. So it multiplies to make negative 12 and adds to give me 1. Okay, so first one off my mind is negative 6 and 2. Well, that's negative 4. That's not it. How about negative 12 and 1? That's not it. How about negative 4 and 3? Winner. Oh, that's positive. That's negative 1. Oh, I don't want that. I want to flip these around. How about if I go 4 and negative 3? That will give me positive 1. That's the choice. K plus 4, K minus 3. And there you go. That's a quick review of those. Hopefully you guys are a long ways into this. Like I say, these aren't too bad as long as that value in front of the x squared term, in front of the squared term, is 1. Once it gets beyond 1, it starts getting a little bit more hairy. Okay, and that's kind of what we're talking about Monday in class. Okay, have yourself a good time.